Hi, everybody. Welcome to Better Than Never. Shit.
I'm not actually inside a women's prison at the moment.
We don't know that.
Just went up to like 11.
Good afternoon.
At least say a big fuck you to Nick.
Tyler Yaremchuk must go to Cinco de Mayo.
Ty. There's so much to get done. I don't have time for the full intro because I'm looking at my soundboard and I see 40 voicemails. 40. Long live Arby's. Can you believe this? Tomorrow I leave to Florida. I'm very excited. Got to get going. Got to get this cup final going. But in the meantime, I need to know what is going on your mind. I need to know what is happening. I need to know what you think. I need to know what's like how you're living, how you're coping. Do you have any, what are they called? Superstitions about the game that you have to do? I want to hear about it all. There's a lot of weird voicemail titles that I'm looking at. So we got no time to waste. But first, how could I not start the podcast with a little bit of good news? You don't know? Whoops, I pressed the wrong button. A little bit of good news.
Are you gonna talk about what I did?
I'm gonna talk about what you did.
I don't know that we should be praising him for doing this. Like, Satan's scared for little quads. There's a whole part of this decision that Satan just, it creeps me out in my bones.
Why you say that, Satan? I'm doing some adulting things, even though I'm little quads!
If you don't know, if you haven't seen it on socials, if you haven't seen it anywhere, my boy David Quadrelli got engaged last night to his lovely girlfriend Victoria, now fiance.
I did it! I told you I was gonna do it, and I did it! You thought I would chicken out? I was never gonna chicken out! I put on my nicest clothes, I tied my shoes real tight, my hair looked fresh, everything about the night was planned out, and Big Dave came through!
Can I just... I'm happy for you, David. I'm scared about the concept of marriage, mostly because Satan just loves nothing more than being, shall we say, promiscuous?
Satan, you need to grow up, for fuck's sakes. Aren't you 2,000 years old? Be more like Big Dave!
So I just got to start off by saying congratulations to my dude Quads. I've been holding the secret for a minute. Loved the photos. I loved her reaction. Go follow Quads on socials. You can see them for yourself. But now we've got quite a handful of work to do. The to-do list, like I said, features 40 voicemails over the last, and they're not even that old as far as I can tell. There's some that have a little bit, but there's a lot of you that are excited about what happened this week, specifically on Sunday. Let's talk about it. We've got the Cup Final kicking off on Saturday. I go to Florida tomorrow night. Let's get going with the voicemail. The voicemail, we are welcoming Hectic Cuts to the voicemail. Want to get a haircut from the same place as your favorite players? EK91, Hollywood, Stew Daddy, Clouder, McLovin. They've all been to Hectic Cuts. Is it your time? Book with the best barbers in Edmonton at Hectic Cuts, located in the heart of the South Side, right in Century Park. Bookings available online at hectic-cuts.ca. New sponsor for the voicemail. Welcome, Hectic Cuts. Hello. Let's get to the first voicemail. Anonymous, who be you?
Good afternoon. Oh, you know who it is. You are now listening to Better Late Than One Stick. One chance, one deflection, one vision. Better Queen for the Stanley Cup Final since 2006. We're going to fuck it up. One vision. Chimown. One vision.
Remember when Donkey Volley was down and out after Game 3 of the Western Conference Final? Oilers had a 2-0 lead after the first period. Dallas came storming back. They ended up winning that game. It was like 5-3 or something. My boy Donkey Volley called. He was down and out. He had Stars fans, just fans from other fan bases, telling him that they can't win with Connor and Leon. And then what happened? I told you, hope will never die, Donkey Volley. Hope will never die, and I mean it here now as we go into the Stanley Cup Final. Anonymous caller 2, who be you? Probably Donkey Volley.
So I would like to absolute myself. Absolute myself? That's not a word, is it? All right, fair enough. Yeah, I'll go with it.
Oh, all right, yeah, sure. I got Chad here up next, working through the Hector Cuts voicemail. Chad, what do you got to say? Go.
No, that actually isn't the furniture store. Last hint, if you're a listener of 630 Chad, you've heard my dad on the radio a fucking bazillion times. Anyway, yeah, no, I could message you. I just felt like I shouldn't blow up your DMs. If you want, though, I could shoot you a message and point you in the right direction. But yeah, your thought about like getting a kit for it is very similar to what mine was. I just took home.
If you don't know what we're talking about, I was thinking about getting a kit for a guitar, just to build a guitar. Again, I like to play. Hang on. You can hear that. So I just thought the idea of building one might be fun. And that's what Chad's talking about with getting a kit.
Some old guitars from my parents that were just being stored there. And I took them apart and I was tinkering with them. And I was like, I wonder if there's a kit you could get. And of course there is. And then I was just watching YouTube stuff and just seeing them like cutting the wood and stuff. I was just like, I think I could do that. And yeah, I just kind of compiled some tools from my uncle and my dad, and I bought myself a bandsaw and a bunch of wood, and I just started doing her. And yeah, just like, I'm not one of those people that's like in my past life, but like, it just felt like almost like I knew what to do, having not really done it before. It was just very intuitive.
That's cool.
And just kind of feels like I understand why everything I tried before didn't work. And like, yeah, I don't know, just changed my life. I love it. But yeah, I can message you if you want. Let me know.
Frank's fired up about it. You may as well message me. I'm curious. I'm just curious if there's like a recommendation on a guitar kit too. Something that maybe I can tinker with in the summer. I always like, I've looked at a bunch of them on Amazon and shit, but I don't know if they're any good. I just kind of was more curious about putting one together just to kind of play with the nuts and bolts of the whole thing. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Of course you do. Kyle the Embalmer, you're up.
Here we go, net empty. Drop the goddamn puck. Ah, glass.
In the seats, although none of them are occupied now. Everybody on their feet at Rogers Place.
I love the idea of what Kyle's trying to do there. Just kind of walk us through the final minute or so of play. The only problem is, like, I like Chris Cuthbert. We talked about this on Oilers Nation Radio the other day. I'm a big fan of Chris Cuthbert. I like the way he calls games. But in my heart, I just love Jack Michaels so much. So having him not be able to do that call for you, Kyle, live in the moment. I was at the game, so like different for me because I was feeling the energy and the tension in the room. But I like what you're trying to do here. I'm going to go with this next one, see how we do.
Come on. Get it out. No. Oh, shit. Come on, get it. Get it. Be careful, Connor. Don't get the penalty. Come on.
I'm just thinking about, like, I can visualize where it is in the game as Kyle's working through this. Like, I love that he did this live.
That's empty. Good. Oh, come on. That should have been a trip.
I will say it's much better to do this having known the end result. You know? I can almost feel the stress in Kyle's voice here. Oh, we got the last minute now. So I see that there's another voicemail, so I'm going to stop this one, and I'm going to go to the last one, the last part of Kyle doing the live reaction to the Oilers winning.
Let's go, 25 seconds! Yes!
Connor Brown clear.
Come on, come on!
Listen to the crowd, even through Kyle's TV, through a recording.
Come on! 3, 2, 1!
There's Kyle's son there with him too while I was having a reaction. I just love that. You know, we were talking about where people were when they watched the game the other day on Real Life, and Chalmers was talking about how much it means for him to create those moments with his sons. And obviously you hear Kyle doing the live reaction, the scream, it blows out the microphone on his phone. I love the idea of that, Kyle. That was a fun little series of messages. Kind of rekindles, you know, the tension that was in the room a little bit. One of the greatest nights of my life, no doubt.
One bounce, one tip. We're gonna go to the Stanley Cup Final. Donkey tried to do his song like Queen Andy hasn't got a clue how it.
I like that Donkey Volley's made plenty of songs now with the AI help, the AI band / voice filters, but sometimes you just got to go raw dog, and I respect that too.
It's going on. It's fading quite now, etc. That was a half decent effort. Oh, we're really, really so close to going to the Stanley Cup Final. Oh. I want to kiss all of your ankles. Donkey kiss ankles. Hello.
Donkey kiss ankles. Weird how that voicemail came in. Like the date shows the same date as the ones Kyle left, but yet so close to going into the Stanley Cup Finals. I guess just earlier in the day, maybe. I don't know. Anonymous caller, who be you?
Sunday night.
Ari, hello. Welcome back to the podcast.
Edmonton wins the series 4-2 against Dallas. I hated the game, though. It was an awful game. My dad hated it, too.
It was one of those games where, I mean, like when you get 10 shots on net over the course of the evening and the other team is shelling you at a 3.5-1 pace, not ideal. Not ideal. But they don't always have to be pretty on the way to the Stanley Cup Final, do they? They don't ask how. They just ask how many.
So, yeah. Western Conference champions, first Stanley Cup Finals for the Oilers in 18 years. It's pretty nice. But like a wise man said, job's not finished.
Mm-hmm.
See you on the other side, Bag Milk.
Job's not finished. The La Bamba Mentality, nationgear.ca. Go check that. That collaborative group effort from Nation HQ staff. Love to see that. Or just Mamba Mentality. I rewatched the Redeem Team, the documentary about the USA team that went to the Olympics and won. And the stories of Kobe Bryant and that thing are just unbelievable. That guy's work ethic. Just insane how much he put into that game. I love it. I hope the boys are all doing that too. By the way, the Oilers hired Jordan and Kobe's like mental coach to teach Mamba Mentality. Is it an omen? I say yes. What say you, anonymous caller?
We're going to the
finals! I love it. Hectic Cuts, you love it? Of course you do. Of course you do. We've got Owen coming up next. What do you got to say?
What's up, Bagged Milk?
Hello.
It's Owen. I haven't sent a voicemail in a long time.
How you doing, pal?
Busy and haven't gotten to watch a lot of these Oilers games. I've been working a lot late at night. But
good for you, grinding. Building a career is what we call that.
I think this might be the happiest I have ever been in my entire life. Or pretty close to. Yeah, maybe not the happiest. There's a couple moments I can think of. But yeah, this is up here. I've never felt this kind of... Oh, I can't fucking wait. 4 more wins. Let's go.
It's all you need. 4 more wins. When you come down, when you think about it, 3/4 of the way, 4 more wins. The Oilers can do this. I believe in them.
I believe in them too. I mean, you sold your soul to me many, many years ago for this moment. Now it's time for Satan to collect. Now it's time for Satan to make good on that soul of yours. Now, let's be honest, it's a little bit battered and bruised since you sold it to me. It's kind of like a used car that's been well loved by a family. But ultimately, I think if I give it a good cleaning, a good detailing, there's still some good value in this shitty soul of yours. Thank you.
The job's not finished. We want to win the Stanley Cup.
I don't know if you caught that.
That's Florida. And
I'm watching the interviews, and Draisaitl, right as I hit record, said, "Job's not finished."
Job's not finished. Again, coincidence given who they hired as their mental coach? Job's not finished. No, it's not. At least not to me.
That's your favorite saying, Bag Milk.
Mm-hmm.
But holy shit, I cannot believe we are here. You know, my first game, and when I became an Oilers fan, was back in 2006, and it was the Game 7 in the finals, because my dad was like, "You got to watch this," and I watched, and even though we lost, instantly fell in love, and have been following ever since. 18 years later, I never thought we'd be here, and we all owe Stu a goddamn huge apology, myself included. This is amazing. Let's go. Cup year, baby.
Mm-hmm. 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 Job's not finished indeed. Job's not finished indeed. George Mumford is the name of the sports psychologist meditation coach. Previously helped guide Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant to championships. And speaking of Stuart Skinner, if you go to my boy Sean Pangs, who writes over at OilersNation.com, he tweeted a gif of George Mumford grabbing Stuart Skinner and just saying, "My man." I don't know what kind of witchcraft he's teaching him, but based on his resume, soak it up, boys. Job's not finished. Job's not finished. Dayton Part 2. What do you got? Hang on. Play, I said.
That's the playoffs.
Okay, one more thought here, actually. Am I the only one that noticed we're going through some sort of 2022 Calgary Flames playoff gauntlet?
Yes, we are. My boy NHL Sid made a classic meme with the Undertaker knocking on varying doors. So there's Elias Lindholm in there, Chris Tanev, and then the final boss, apparently, Matthew Tkachuk. I don't remember who's in the first round. Who'd they play in the first round? LA? I don't remember.
Let me explain. In round 1, we blasted Big Save Dave to the moon.
There it is, Big Save Dave. I couldn't think of it. But then that reminded me of when I was in Los Angeles at Crypto.com and I got told off by a guy in a Dave Riddick jersey. And rather than be mad or offended in any way, I saw he was wearing a Dave Riddick jersey and I burst out laughing. If you buy that thing, you've made poor decisions in your life. Trust me, I've made plenty of them.
In round 2, we knocked out Little Z Zadorov.
Mm-hmm. And Elias Lindholm.
Round 3, Mr. Tanev.
The guy who reportedly chose to go to Dallas over Edmonton, thought he had a better chance to win. Whoops-a-daisies.
It's absolutely punished. And now, in round 4, it's time for the final boss, Mr. Rat King himself.
The Turtle.
Mr. Matthew Tkachuk, and he must be punished. Anyways, you're probably also wondering, well, what about Johnny Gaudreau? Well, we won that part of the gauntlet when he decided to leave to go to Columbus. So, yeah, let's go Oilers. Cup year, baby. But job's not done.
Job's not done. Job's not finished, no matter how you say it. That's just the reality of the situation. Johnny Gaudreau, the last time we saw him, the last time we beat him as a boss was in the second round a couple of years ago. The play he made was on his way to the airport while Draisaitl hit McDavid in the slot. OT winner, game winner, series winner. Nicholas, you are up on the Hectic Cuts voicemail.
Yo, Big Milk. I tried to send a voicemail last night, but SpeakPipe was a little bricked up. SpeakPipe would not send my message. I'm guessing because so many people were sending messages, it overwhelmed it. So I'm sending it on my drive to work this morning. So hopefully you can hear me.
I can hear you.
What a win, baby. We're going to the Stanley Cup Finals. I don't know if I've ever seen the boys play that bad.
Nick, I'm going to chastise you. This is the time for good vibes, not bad vibes. Oilers won. Doesn't matter how. They got the job done. The journey ended at the destination we all hoped it would.
And still win. Like, we were not sharp. And we're going to have to be a lot sharper if we want to beat Florida.
Yep.
But to think about that, we played the worst game I've seen in a long time, and we still fucking won. So I'll take that. That being said, Mamba mentality. Job is not finished. Job's not done yet. And you know what? I found that very encouraging. All of the Oilers post-game press conferences, their first point was, yes, we're happy to win this, but job's not finished. And I love that. Also, I'm seeing a lot of Florida in 4, Florida in 5. And you know what I say to you guys? Fuck you. You're a bunch of losers. You're the same losers who said Dallas in 4, Dallas in 5. And you know what these losers are, Baked Milk? Flames and Canucks fans.
Yep.
Like those chattering animals at Flames Nation. Shut the fuck up, for the love of God, Boomer. Shut up. And shut up, Canucks fans. Holy hell.
If you want to have a good chuckle about the boys on the Barn Burner Show, which is our signature program down at Flames Nation, go to the Oilers subreddit. If you go into the Oilers subreddit, they posted a clip from Barn Burner, or you go to YouTube if you want, doesn't matter. And Frank Saravalli is just carving them up because he's an oil man. We've turned Frank into an oil man, and that's all that matters, really. That's all that matters. Nate, what do you got to say?
They actually did it. Like, I still can't believe it. It's a day later, and I'm still in like shock.
Yeah, man.
That we're actually going to the Stanley Cup Final.
I was in shock. It's probably still am. Today's Thursday. Like, I'm working on a random thoughts article that's either going to go up tonight at OilersNation.com or first thing in the morning, and still having a hard time wrapping my head around it. What can you say? A lot of us, everybody leaving voicemails today, has just watched so much shit hockey over the years. I mean, Nate, you're a younger dude, so maybe you missed a lot of it, but we earned it. We earned it. I'm going to paraphrase because I can't find it quickly, but Tyler Yaremchuk tweeted, if you weren't there for my Corey Potter power play, you don't deserve me at my Evan Bouchard power play. Been a long ride, gentlemen and ladies. A long ride indeed. Nate, what else you got to say?
Like, we had season tickets for years. Like, I think our first year was 2005, and then we stopped having season tickets in like 2017. And we would drive up from Red Deer, and year after year after year, they sucked so bad. And we couldn't even give our tickets away. No one would want to like take them from us and go up and go to the game, or even like friends we had in Edmonton wouldn't even like take them and go to the game. Like, nobody wanted to go. So me and my dad would go to like almost every game and watch them lose, and it was brutal. And last night almost felt like a relief. Like, I don't know, me and my dad were jumping up and down in the basement, and honestly, we were like almost shedding a tear because like we've come so far. We waited years and years for this moment, and let's soak it in. Job's not done. Oilers have a chance. Let's go, baby.
Let's go's right. And that's why I love hearing some of these stories of where you were when you were watching, who you were with. You know, some of you watching with your buddies, probably. Nate watching with his dad in the basement. Me, I was with Captain Felton at the arena. This journey, this ride, everything, whatever you want to call it, has been so special and so much fun. So job's not done, job's not finished. That's 1,000% true. But I also hope you're taking a minute, just kind of enjoy the ride. It's been 18 years since the Oilers have gotten this far. 18 years. So enjoy it. Got another day here. It's Thursday evening as I'm recording this. We got Friday to get through. 8 p.m. Eastern puck drop on Saturday. Just take a minute to stop and smell the roses a little bit, you know? Blowfish, you're up.
Hey, BM, it's Blowfish. Just finished watching O&E. Haven't watched Real Life yet, but what a game. So glad you guys were there for it. Your description of it is awesome. I'm a little far away, so I can't get to it. Not as far as some people that make it to games all the time in the regular season anyway, but
sure.
Yeah, I wish I could be there. Hopefully I can make it down for a game sometime during this final. I honestly, admittedly, I didn't know how to react. I mean, I only became a fan in 2011, so unlike you guys, I don't have the whole 2006 nostalgia going on. I was in utter disbelief. Couldn't help but think back to when, during the Eakins era, when I would watch the first two periods and then turn the game off for the inevitable collapse. But yeah, Stanley Cup Final. Freaking awesome. So, yeah, let's go, boys. 4 more wins. That's all we got. 4 more wins. And I agree with Luke Gazdick. Let's get Vinny back in the lineup, but to be honest, I have no idea who to take out. Anyway, go Oilers. Have a good one.
It's going to be interesting how Chris Knobloch handles his line combos for this series. The Panthers, as we keep hearing over and over again, a bigger, stronger team. The Oilers played LA in the first round and Vancouver in the second round. Both those rounds are physical, so I feel good about the boys' ability to handle some physicality, but I do wonder if that makes a guy like Vincent Desharnais, who's a giant, more important to have in the lineup. I'm curious. One thing I do know for sure is I'm not going to be doubting Chris Knobloch anytime soon, given how everything he's touched lately has just turned into sweet, sweet gold. Sweet, sweet gold. Tyler's knees is leaving a message.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Not you two, fucking mate. I'm trying to. Why do you always stand on this exact? It's like you know where I'm trying to water on the grass, and you just fucking stand there on purpose.
Dogs, man.
Anyway, sorry for that. Yeah, I guess segue into the little bit of housekeeping here. If you can hear a bit of precipitation in the background, that is just my garden hose watering the lawn.
You can call it whatever you want,
It's
big
not
man.
actually a tropical monsoon, which hopefully Tyler and Liam's aeroplane doesn't find itself in a few short days.
Tyler and Liam made it to Florida. They've sent me pictures of our hotel. They sent me pictures of what's around. I'm very excited to join them down there, but Tyler and Liam did get there safely.
Also, I am nude, but you probably can't hear that, so I didn't need to mention it. The dog just tried on the phone, so that's also helping. Thanks, team. Fuck, mate. What can you say? I'm gonna do. I've only got like 2 beers in the fridge, so I won't get too heavy on the voicemails. But I will probably do a few because there's a lot of shit I need to get off my chest about everything that's going on at the moment. And I don't know, voicemails are free, so strap yourselves in, motherfuckers. This is a episode of Better Late Than Never.
Yeah, I was like, you have me on a cliffhanger there.
What's going on with Dukes? Has he got like some kind of problem? He's out there watering his lawn. He's only got 2 beers in the fridge. The dog's getting in the way. I thought he'd be joining in the voicemail, screaming and yelling.
Like me, because I got engaged last night. Big Dave's a man. Let's go.
Now, let me take you back in time to, well, not heaps far back in time, but kind of like not, I don't know, let me take you medium back in time. That's just over the course of my Oiler fanship, fanicism is the word I'm going to go with. Move, Brett. Fucking, I remember when Real Life had voicemails for a little bit, and I don't know, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I'll talk to the boys, say g'day. Oh, Frasier, don't lick my face, you cunt. It's a dog-heavy episode here today. Fucking dogs are out.
Mine was barking. Dogs do be dogging.
Oh, now my nose rings out. Oh, cunt. What? Just oh, mate.
What a disaster.
Anyway, gather yourself. I left a voicemail. It's like, you guys had some questions, like, who are you? What do you do? Blah, 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 blah. I don't care who you are, where you come from, as long as you love me, baby, whatever Michael Jackson said. And one of the questions was, what's your greatest Oilers moment? And honestly, I answered, and I got laughed at by everyone. But my favorite moment in history was the David Desharnais goal against the Sharks.
That was a great one.
And honestly, this is going to go to a part 2. So the other message doesn't count. So this next one will be part 2. Yeah.
That Lil D goal, I don't think that's a bad pick. I don't think that's a bad pick. Like, if you remember, that was the Oilers' kind of first run back to the playoffs. That was a big moment. I was there too. But I don't remember laughing at you, Dukes. I remember asking that question on Oilers Nation. We were doing kind of like a reverse mailbag kind of situation on the website, OilersNation.com. And I remember somebody telling me that the greatest moment of his Oilers fandom, because he was a younger guy, was the Yakupov slide after the tying goal against LA. Listen, I had a good time with the Yak slide too. Media hated it. The old timers hated it. I thought it was funny. But a greatest moment was that? Yikes. Let's get back to Dukes here. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is.
Yeah, honestly, like, even though we have made it further, like the other year when we made it through against the Flames, like that McDavid goal's right up there. Probably, to be honest, it probably did overtake the David Deharnay goal. But obviously going over there and not just seeing games live, but actually just being a part of Edmonton, even though it was fucking February and the weather was, shitty, mate, that was still the best experience, best 2 weeks of my life. Even though halfway through, the night after the fucking game against the Kings, I was in a bar with Brandon and Shyla and Jack.
Mm-hmm.
I think was there, or Jack? No, Jack was there. Yeah, anyway, got a call from my boss back home saying I was made redundant and I didn't have a job. So, like, that was, like, literally halfway point of my trip. So that kind of fucking sucked.
Sure.
But, still the best two. I didn't, who cares, YOLO, fuck you. Still the best 2 weeks of my life. And I was like, okay, well, no matter what happens, what I get to witness on TV or whatever, seeing them live, even though they were just regular season games, is going to be the best. Even the Battle of Alberta, still one of the best nights of my life, even though we got fucking, like, they fucked us up.
Yep.
Still, to that point, one of the best moments of my life. Still is, probably still will be forever.
Here, I thought Dukes appearing as a live guest on Better Late Than Never and working through the voicemail was going to be one of his greatest moments ever, but
You really thought you were onto something there, didn't you, pal? All you were onto was a path to sadness. A very, very short path to sadness.
So, if you asked me, if you fucking future me came back and told me before yesterday, oh, mate, one of your greatest ever Edmonton Oilers memories is going to be in a fucking office of a coal mine in fucking central Queensland, and you're not even watching it with your eyes, you're having one little sneaky earbud in while you're at your desk, I would have been like, that doesn't sound very ice hockey. The dirt out here is orange. There's no ice. You're a dickhead. But, mate, honestly, yesterday, even though I had to fucking cause myself 18 aneurysms by not making it, not shouting and yelling and anything, it was still one of the greatest hockey memories and one of the greatest sporting memories of my life. And, like, most of my life has been about sport. Not only because I go for the team, but honestly, just the love and the joy and all the emotion that I'm getting from Edmonton, not directed at me, but just that I'm seeing and witnessing coming from Edmonton. A lot of people are messaging me and definitely including me as much as I can be. But, man, I can feel the energy. I can feel the emotion. I can feel the, like, pride and passion and everything I love about that city from fucking 14,000 kilometers away.
I'm glad that you still have a connection to this, you have such a connection to the city, Dukes. It's normally when you hear about Edmonton from somebody hasn't been here, like, we lived it in the Vancouver series, right? Oh, this Soviet-looking city. I saw that a bunch of times. Edmonton's a shithole. And you were here in February. This is when it gets the coldest. Well, at first, when you got here, the night you and I went out for dinner, it was a nice night. It was kind of casual. And I go, well, not even any snow here for you. And then within days, it dumped like 2 feet of snow, dropped 20 degrees, and you got a real taste of what Edmonton's like in February. And you still love it. We still love it. And that's why I'm excited for the players too. Like, you heard Zach Hyman talk about being an Oiler or watching the finals in 2006 and talking to his brother about how crazy the building is. Having been there for game 6 against Dallas and watching that final 2-3 minute stretch where everyone was on their feet and it kept getting louder and it kept getting louder and it kept getting louder until finally it was just noise. I can't wait to see what it's like in the finals. I can't wait to see what we do as a city to support this team, because these moments are few and far between, friends. They are few and far between. And when you find a community as cool as this one, as cool as Oilers Nation, as cool as Oilers fans are in general, that they care so much, it's intoxicating. And I think it's funny that Dukes comes from a country. I've been lucky enough to be and travel in Australia. There's so many places that are just stunningly beautiful there. And yet here's a guy who, you know, fell in love with Edmonton. It's the community. It's the people. It's our love for the team that we're all doing this together. That's why I have a job. 2007, Ryan Smith got traded the year after losing in the Cup Final. Jay and Wanye started bringsmittyhome.com. The traffic started to explode. They saw there was an appetite for Oilers content online that was not necessarily, you know, the reporters talking down to you or talking at you about what they think you saw. This was fans of the team talking about what they saw and what we all shared. That's why I have a job right now. And that same spirit is exactly why Dukes came to Edmonton in the coldest possible month and still fell in love with the city. So again, I ask you both all, if you're listening to this, just enjoy it.
And if this is how strongly I feel about it from this far away, mate, I can't even fathom what it's like to be there right now. And of course, there's, you know, I would give almost anything on this earth to actually be there right now. But somehow, as much as I wish and as much as I get the FOMO and everything, there's no negative emotions attached to it, because I'm just getting so much joy and strength and happiness from just all the vibes and all the tweets and all the clips everyone's posting and all seeing everyone getting their moment. Because I've been following this team for, you know, only 10 years, literally the season before McDavid was drafted. So you know, a lot of you guys have suffered a lot longer than I have, you know, obviously only kind of casual fan for the first few years or whatever. I live and breathe this team now, but again, I'm not in the epicenter of it like you guys are. And honestly, I am so fucking happy for everyone involved. Honestly, obviously the job's not done yet. There's still, you know, arguably the biggest task to come. But no matter what happens from here, I'm so fucking happy. And I'm so fucking proud of everyone in this community. And I couldn't love it more if I tried. I love you all. Play La Bamba. I'm starting to tear up. So fuck you. I'm going.
I love that. I love that, Dukes. You're a good dude, man.
Okay, I don't know if you saw McDavid getting harassed after game 6.
I did.
But I don't know if anyone said this already, but if you see any of the players on the street, leave them the fuck alone.
Yep.
Do not wait to ambush them after they leave the arena at a game or anything like that. Just leave them the fuck alone, especially now.
Yep.
Leave them the fuck alone.
Mm-hmm.
Be respectful. We're Oilers fans here.
I did my Reggie Sack beating on exactly that yesterday. It was very annoying to me. It was very embarrassing. I got myself having secondhand embarrassment because be respectful. You said that. That's the most important thing. Secondly, I'll say it. Don't be a fucking idiot. Don't be a loser. It's one thing if you give Connor a fist pump and say, let's go get him, boys, and you continue on with your life. It's another when you harass him. Be better. It's embarrassing. And I was embarrassed. Those dudes in that video should be embarrassed for a long time for the way they acted. It's not funny. And if any of your boys thought it was funny, it just wasn't. You look like idiots.
Big Milk, we made the finals, baby. Let's
go.
Dude, I can believe it. Actually, we are that good. But I need some advice.
Sure.
I normally am watching these games at home Sometimes with my husband, sometimes my kids will pass in and out of the room, whatever, but it's usually just me like being a ball of mess in front of the TV.
That's what playoffs are all about.
Constantly texting back and forth with my best friend of 30 some years about how panicked we are as she sits in the same situation in her living room being panicked about it with her family watching. But for game 1 on Saturday, my cousin, who is, 24, has invited me to the moss pit with her friends. And like, we've talked about it. I'm your age, BM. Do I go to the moss pit for game 1 of the finals? Am I just going to totally age out and stick out like a sore thumb? But on the other hand, I really want to be a part of the crowd. I'm having a bit of FOMO. I mean, I'm not a big social person. I don't love going out a bunch, but like, I feel like my people need me. I need to be part of this. So what do you think? Thanks, BM. Go Oilers!
Before game 6, I went to the moss pit for the first time with Kennedy. I went with Waz was there, Payton was there, Brett was there, a bunch of the younger staff were there, and they kind of said, well, and Captain Felton wanted to see it too. They kind of said, just come with us. You haven't been all year. And I looked around, and when I got there, I was like, fuck me, I am old. I am old here. But to answer your question, Lisa, like, go. You've got to go. If it's telling you, if your gut's telling you that you need to be at the moss pit because you want to be amongst the crowd, you got to be there. And we've put enough videos up on Oilers Nation social media to show what that place is like, and it goes absolutely bananas in there. It goes bonkers in there. Go hang out with the Nation staff. We'll be there. We'll be your people in there. Go hang out with the Nation staff. I love that idea. Actually, you know Kennedy is going to be there. Go hang out with Kennedy. Go hang out with Waz. They'd love to see you. So don't worry about that. I worry about having a good time and about enjoying this, because I know that you and I have met and we're roughly the same age. So we've been through this once before when we were younger. Now we're not. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't still enjoy the moment. And if being in the moss pit is what your body's telling you need to do, then you need to be there. You need to be there. Besides, you can probably afford the cheap beers. You know? At least I hope so. Get yourself a cocktail. Maybe some free cheesies. I grabbed a bag of free cheesies. They were for the kids, but Bag Milk likes them too. Kyle the Embalmer, what you got to say?
Hey, so I just wanted to weigh in on something. I'm sure there's a bunch of other voicemails about this exact same topic, but there was that cringy video today that came out of those guys harassing McDavid.
Yep.
Here's what I have to say, and I'm sure people have already seen me comment this on social media and whatnot, but I'm going to say it anyway. First off, those fans, leave the guy alone, man. You're standing out there by his car in your knockoff Oiler jerseys that you made in your basement. I get it, you're supporting the team and all, but leave Connor alone. But the other big issue I had with the whole thing was while you're standing there jumping around, yelling, "Oh my God, it's McDavid, oh, great game." He's sitting there struggling, carrying a bunch of 2-4s of beer. There's Lauren carrying a bunch of 2. Fucking put your phone down, jump in, grab some of those fucking cases for him, help the guy out, carry beer to his car. That's how we roll in Canada. We help our guys out. He's struggling with those 2-4s. Grab the beer, carry it to his car for him. He'll probably be a little more receptive to you instead of trying to get the fuck out of there, which I don't blame him. And he might even say thanks. Maybe you can ask him nice. Maybe he'll sign your knockoff jersey. But for the most part, tell the guy, good luck, great game, carry the fucking beer for him, and leave him the fuck alone.
That's the thing to me, is just leave him alone. Like when I tweeted, if you see Connor McDavid out in public, leave him alone, thanks. Some people are like, what, I can't even say hi? That's not what we're talking about. If you've seen the video, you know exactly what we're talking about, that you should not do. We know what we're talking about. Don't be a moron.
Listen, Bagmo, telling people not to be a moron is incredibly tough when half the world, well, maybe not half, that sounds harsh. Satan's does a rough count, it's a rough survey. I go out, I have people answer questions, I just be like, hey, what animal is this? And someone will be like, tiger, when it's clearly an elephant. Those fucking morons are the ones that can't understand what you're saying here.
See, Satan knows. Next voicemail comes from Kate. Kate, what do you got to say?
Hi, Bag Milk. Kate
Hello.
here again, reaching back out as you requested.
Yes. So if you don't remember, Kate told me that Stars fans were probably making fun of me, which they probably were, but I live in a world of ignorance, my own colorful little cloud of happiness right now. And she said they were making fun of me, and they probably were, but I thought they were nice. So there's your, what was that called? What is the thing called at the beginning of a book? Been a minute since I read a book, to be honest. I'm just going to be honest with you. The prologue. Thank you.
So let me start with a grain of salt of my understanding of this particular part of Southern culture comes from 5 years of grad school in the South. And from my understanding, Dallas is part of the South. Florida is its own separate Chaos Gremlin. So Bless Your Heart is the Southern way of, well, it's passive aggressive. Let's put it that way. They're nice and they're polite, and it's their way of whenever someone does something they don't particularly agree with. This could be as simple as you did something really stupid, so it's...
If it's me doing something pretty stupid, that's on brand, especially after a couple of cocktails. Kate, back to you.
Bless your heart. It could be that you accidentally walked into something or tripped over something, and it's, oh, bless your heart.
So I think Kate's saying they're calling me stupid, which I would also agree with.
I agree too. Co-signed.
It could be you're at a rivalry game, which is how I experienced this, where it's bless your heart, which is the Southern way of saying go fuck yourself. These are just a couple of the different connotations of bless your heart, and it really is dependent on tone and the situation, which is why I said to Google it if this had been directed towards you or towards the boys. Anyway, that was what I meant. Hope that clarifies things.
It does.
Go Oilers.
And you know what? Some of those are probably true. I'm an idiot. I was also at a rival game. Mostly I'm an idiot. The big thing, though, I never forget my elderly lady at the front desk of the hotel calling me sugar. Now, if you're going to tell me, Kate, that her calling me sugar, that's a bad thing, I just won't believe it. I won't believe it. Lovely. I loved it. Thinking about it right now, actually. Nick, you're up.
KBM, 3 things. Number 1, if anyone has that Oilers girl, you know the one I'm talking about, you know the one with the massive rack, if anyone has her number,
I like how Nick's very subtle, isn't he? You know the girl I'm talking about, and then he has to continue to proceed with the explanation. Buddy, everybody on Earth has seen that video now, it seems like. Everybody. Keep it subtle. I mean, she's a hot performer. Don't get me wrong. If this was Oilers Nation Radio, I might give her one of these. But we're gentlemen here, Nick. We're going to the Stanley Cup Finals, baby.
her Snapchat, her Instagram, whatever. Could you send them my way? Help a brother out because
just stop. You're an idiot, but I love it. You're an idiot in a good way, a fun way. Listen, shoot or shoot, and I respect it. But chances are nobody that listens to this has that girl Snapchat. Thank you. Waz, you're up.
Bag Milk, I think I may have fractured my relationship with Liam at Nation HQ, and I think it's time I restore it, repair it, and the only way I can do that is by supporting his favorite NFL team, the Detroit Lions, this upcoming NFL season. And
so if you missed it, Waz and Liam have had a rivalry of sorts, but it's been mostly one-sided. Waz has taken his shots. Liam has taken shots when necessary. Now Liam has muted Waz on Twitter. So that's where we're at. I mean, it's repairable, Waz. I don't know that you jumping on the bandwagon of the Detroit Lions is going to do it, though.
And I kind of like Detroit for a couple reasons. Eminem, my favorite artist, supports the Detroit Lions, which basically means I'm a Detroit Lions fan. Detroit, some similarities. I see a little bit of similarities between Detroit and Edmonton. I don't know
Like
why.
what?
I just sense
what?
it. So,
He
yeah, I
doesn't know.
think, it might be a good way for me and Liam to kind of bond over the same NFL team. I'm going to stick with them. So, yeah, go Lions. Right, Liam?
Well, Woz, if you want to make a clip of that one, you're in control of the clips for the podcast. Just make sure to tag it with Hectic Clips. Or Hectic Cuts, sorry. Not Hectic Clips. Hectic Cuts. Go book an appointment. Hectic.cuts.ca. And the Cuts has got a Z on it. Of course it does. Woz. Fucking guy. By the way, Woz still in jail for picking the Stars to win in 6. I don't know when he's going to be allowed out of jail, but that's where he is currently. Woz, you got another one.
Also, an update, Bag Milk. I did finish all the Rocky films. I'm about to start the Creed series. Just to follow up from last week. No, I've not seen Rambo. Honestly, I've never really delved deep into the catalog of Sylvester Stallone until recently. Always respected him as an actor, his legacy, but I will definitely check out Rambo at some point. But I think I'm just going to try and finish off the Rocky, Creed, whole universe, and then, yeah, but fantastic films. No question.
It makes sense. Rocky series is great. The Creed films are also good. Woz exploring film. Maybe a movie review series with Woz. Maybe. Hectic Cuts voicemail. We're working through it. Anonymous caller. Who be you?
All right, mate. Just a bit of housekeeping before we get going. If you can hear Rafi Torres in the background, I'm definitely not watching Oilers Nation every day before the footy starts. I'm actually in Rafi Torres' basement, but
cool.
don't tell him. But
what kind
also,
of stuff's he got?
you know, like as people may or may not know, I hope no one who like has a stay in Canadian work visas fucking listens to this, because I'll never get let in. But I am hoping to move over there in the next, 18-ish months. So fucking, whatever. And I think I'm more than happy to volunteer for, to be McDavid's security after watching that fucking stupid video. I watched like a quarter of it and was like, yeah, that's enough.
I was with you, by the way. I don't know if I said this yesterday. I couldn't even get through it. So fucking embarrassing and cringy. I still hate those dudes.
But yeah, no qualifications in security, but, I have been punched in the head several times in Australian bars. And, I only lost most of my brain cells. So I figure, whatever. Like, also, I'm not afraid to just, protect McDavid at all costs. So if you're listening, Connor, just mull it over. Let me know. You know how to find me. Play La Bamba, baby. Let's fucking go Oilers.
I like that so far today. Chalmers is offered to be the beer fetcher anytime. He just says, you give me a call, I'll drop it off your door. I don't need to go inside. I just don't want you doing it anymore. I respect that. So Chalmers is going to be getting the beer. Dukes is going to be running security. I think we're putting together an Avengers-style team here, and I respect it.
I just want to highlight, myself, because I haven't really featured on this episode very much yet. But just currently.
See, I disagree. You just did 127 on being McDavid's security. And then if I back up here, that is about 7 minutes of just talking about how much you love Edmonton. So I disagree. At the 53-minute mark of the voicemail episode for Hectic Cuts, Dukes, you have been prominently featured, my friend.
Watching the State of Origin, which is like the Rugby League All-Stars. But picture like the All-Stars if all the players tried as hard as they possibly could. That's what the State of Origin is. They ran out to Enter Sandman and honestly flop. Like, no atmosphere. I mean, they're in the, 80,000 seat stadium, whatever. Fucking flop. No atmosphere, no shit. So I can, without a doubt, confirm that, yes, that song before an Oilers game is fucking sick. But you know what makes it sick? The way the fans fucking get pumped for it.
Yep.
It's not the song itself, it's the way we react to it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing that no words can express how much, I don't know, the Oilers fandom, I'm sure there's cunts in there, But the Oilers fandom, best in the world. Play the Bomber Baby. Let's fucking go.
Listen, Enter Sandman is a classic. It is a big, big jam. It is a great tune. But when the lights go down at Rogers Place and you start hearing the drums and the bass, and then everything kicks in, and then the boys start walking out and the place goes bananas, I just gave myself chills. If you could see it, I've got goosebumps. That's what it's all about. That's why Enter Sandman at Rogers Place during the playoffs. It does not get better. This one says Captain Felton's wife. Now, I spent a little bit of time with her in Vancouver in the second round series. Is this actually you? Probably not.
Mate, you know what I've been thinking?
The guy who said that he was not prominently featured on the episode, now he's Captain Felton's wife.
I'm sure you know exactly what I'm about to say verbatim, right?
Go ahead.
The audio department is a creative... anyway. New South Wales just scored. That's fucking good. Yay. You know how... Ben, I hope you're listening. You know how they say, like, you should never trust a glory hole because you never know what's on the other side?
Do they say that?
If someone put a photo of Matthias Janmark above a glory hole, I'm trusting that orifice with my life. Play the Bomber Baby. Let's go Oilers.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, is that a compliment to Matthias Janmark? I think so. I'm taking it as one.
As the harbinger of bad decisions and just general darkness, I'm going to go ahead and give that one a pass. Go on to Wallace's next voicemail. I'm sure it's very enlightening.
Lastly, Bag Milk, I'd like to get your thoughts on Eminem's latest hit or his latest single, Houdini. I listened to it. I thought it was a little weird at first, but then after a couple more listens, I'm like, okay, this is pretty catchy. This is fun to listen to. Had a mix of old and new Eminem, but I'm very interested to hear how this next album of his will be. Music to Me Murdered By, his last album, I wasn't the biggest fan, I will be honest. I love Eminem. Everybody knows this. But I'll be honest, his music as of late, not the best, but at this point in his career, he just kind of makes music to make music. He's not really looking and chasing for that big hit or that big album. He's just enjoying the process of making music and rapping, and that's his passion. So, yeah, always going to enjoy his stuff, but I'll be honest, sometimes it's not the best, and sometimes it's fun. Well, so, basically, what did you think of Houdini?
That was a long way of asking me the question of what did I think of Houdini. Just to me, Houdini, it was kind of fun. It was nostalgic for me. Like I loved Eminem in high school, right? Like the Marshall Mathers LP that came out in 2000. That's the one with with Stan on it. I was in grade 9. That album, you couldn't get away from it. The Real Slim Shady was a bop of all bops. So to have Eminem have a catchy song that's kind of fun like Houdini, it kind of was nostalgic. So a bunch of people my age are super into it because it kind of gives you flashbacks. And if you watch the video, he's got all kinds of chunks of nostalgia in there. It's just like, to me, watching that was kind of like watching the One More Time video by Blink-182. You watch the video, and if you're a huge fan of that band, you go through all these scenes in the video, and you just kind of like go, I remember that when I was young. And to me, that's kind of what Houdini was. It's fun. It's playful. He takes the Steve Miller Band, Abracadabra, as the hook. I kind of like that too. I don't know. It's a fun song. It's catchy. Eminem has always been able to write hooks. Eminem has always been able to write bops, and every now and then he comes out with a good one. And this may not be his best song by any means, but it's enjoyable. I'll listen to it, have a good time with it. That's really all that matters. Rusty the Reckless Optimist. We are working through the Hectic Cuts voicemail. What do you guys say, my friend?
What's up? It's Rusty the Reckless Optimist here. Haven't left a voicemail in a while.
Has been a while.
Seeing as the Oilers are in the Stanley Cup Finals, I thought it would be fitting. It's just been an incredible journey this year. It's been wild to think about, the Oilers start 2-9-1 or 3-9-1. Woody gets fired. And then being 6 games below 500 in mid-November, they go on a tear and are above 500 by Christmas. Like, that is absolutely incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kept it rolling the rest of the year. Like, just this team has been so much fun to watch through the whole season. This team is amazing. And seeing the city of Edmonton, like I live down in Utah, but seeing the city of Edmonton embrace the team and just pack out the building night after night after night and having these crazy watch parties and all of it's been incredible to watch. And, you know, I'm so excited to see how they do in the finals. And I think it'll be Oilers in 6. Let's go Oilers.
I also got Oilers in 6, Rusty. I'm riding with you. Let's ride together on Oilers in 6, buddy. It has been a weird ride. Like 2-9-1, first game of the year, blown out, 8-1 to Vancouver, lose all 4 games against Vancouver. Then there was the 8-game win streak, and then the 16-game win streak. And then what do people say? Oh, well, they only beat bad teams. They only beat bad teams. And do you remember what I said? Fuck you. If it was so easy to win 16 games in a row, your shitty team would have done it. And then what happens? You go up against the LA Kings. Okay, you stomp the Kings in 5 games. And then they get Vancouver. And they go, oh, well, Vancouver beat them all 4 times this season. The Oilers can't do nothing against Vancouver. Gave up 3 goals in game 1. Lost. Everybody goes, oh, 5 in a row. Oilers are going to lose Vancouver. And then what happened? Victory. Dallas, underdogs, win. Going into Florida, underdogs. Bring that Mamba mentality, boys. There's a bunch of people outside of this city, outside of this fandom that doubt you, but we don't. If you've been paying attention, you shouldn't either. Mike, what do you got to say?
Hey, Bag Milk.
Greetings.
I've tried several times to gather all my thoughts in one spot, and I still won't be able to do it. But this is just such a wild time to be an Oilers fan, especially like for somebody of my age, which I think I'm about the same age as you. I was an adult in 06.
Me too.
But I was 4 years old, 3 years old the last time the Oilers won the cup. I don't remember any of that. I do remember 06, but it's also wild to me to think about everything that's happened since then. I think I was 21, 19 in 06.
I was 21.
And since that cup run, I met my wife. We've now been married for 15 years, and I have an 11-year-old child that all has happened since the last time we were in the Stanley Cup. To me, that is just absolutely insane how much time has passed by, but how I can still remember everything that happened in 06. It's so wild. I'm so excited. I've been stuck in buttfuck BC, where I haven't been able to see another Oilers fan to celebrate, and my time's up. Go Oilers.
Got it all in. Unless this next one's you too, Mike. Got it all in. Like, I think of 2006. I was 21 years old. So to me, I think of going to some games. I was a sales rep at that time, and we sold promotional products. By the way, I was the worst sales rep of all time. And one of our clients was the Oilers. So part of it was doing a contra deal where we gave them the products for free, provided that we could get some tickets to the games. So I was very fortunate in that run to be able to go to more games than I could ever have afforded. And my memories are just so significant from that period. Even when I wasn't there, hanging out with my boys at a bar out in St. Albert or here in the city or going to White Ave and seeing the chaos on White Ave, that cemented Oilers fandom for me. Now, at that time, Oilers Nation didn't even exist yet. That took another year and change, and I didn't find it until 2008. So after 2006, I was already bag milk at that point. But the blog I had, nobody read it. Nobody knew who I was. It was mostly about music and pop culture at that time. So I think about how far it's come and how it's almost been 20 years. And, I've got what equates to a divorce on my file. There's been family members lost. There's been adventures. I've traveled. I've been through we've all been through the pandemic together. We've been through some bad seasons. And we've been through more bad seasons. And then we've been through a bunch of hopeful seasons. So that's why I'm kind of telling people I hope you enjoy the ride, because the ride is a blast and job's not done. It's not close to done. In fact, this team in Florida is going to be the biggest challenge yet. But if this Oilers team has taught me anything this year, it's you never know what's coming, and you never know where we're going to go. And even though the Oilers are underdogs to a lot of people, I hope they take that mentality and they kind of embrace the idea as they go into Florida.
Hey, BM, it's Mrs. Waz here. With Matthew and his whole Dallas bullshit, do you think I could possibly get a refund?
On Waz?
Or, like, know what the return policy is, please?
Sure.
Like, even if there's a grace period, that would be fantastic. Because, yeah, I'm kind of second-guessing this one.
This is fucking bullshit.
It's not bullshit.
It's bullshit.
It's not bullshit.
I had a point.
You did not have a point.
It worked out.
You didn't have a point.
Oh, come on.
How dare you?
If we win the cup, you can thank me.
Sure.
Unfortunately, you're stuck with him. You've been with him long enough now, Ms. Waz. You've been with him enough now where you should know it's bought and paid for at this point. It's bought and paid for. The return policy, well, that expired. You didn't keep the warranty. You didn't buy the extended warranty. Now, you got to deal with that whole situation. You know what I mean? Best of luck to you.
Honestly, Bag Milk, I don't even know how to explain my Stars prediction at this point. It was just one of those things where I kind of felt like if I picked the Oilers, I was almost jinxing them. Because for me,
Listen to this guy rewrite history. You guys at Oilers Nation HQ, you have a whiteboard up there, and everybody writes their predictions on the board. Everybody did it. And then there's Waz, the one guy. He wants to be the troll. He wants to be right. He wants to pick the favorite. And now he's trying to claim credit for inspiring them. Satan's not having it.
Listen, I'm trying to enjoy my fresh engagement here, but even I think this is bullshit. This is bullshit, Waz. You're making Big Dave swear.
I don't know why. It was just hard for me to imagine and fathom the idea that they could go to a Stanley Cup Final. Now it's reality. And now I can't stop thinking about the fact that we're in the Stanley Cup Finals, man. Mm-hmm. It's insane. Mm-hmm. But it was just one of those things where I don't know how else to put it. It was just, I didn't want to jinx us. Even by picking, I didn't want to pick us to win the cup because I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to jinx us. It was just one of those mental hurdles where it's like, well, if I pick the Stars to win, the Warriors got to prove me wrong. And they did. And I was ecstatic. I always believed in the team. It was just it was a mental battle. That was just, I don't know how else to put it. It's not like I wanted them to lose. No way in hell. Because the party's not stopping. It's a great thing. So, yeah, this will stick with me for the rest of my life, but that's the price we pay.
The good news is, at least, was that you're taking it in stride. You're taking your lumps, buddy. And sometimes when you make a horrible prediction like the one you did, well, you just got to live with it. You just got to live with it. We're working through the Hectic Cuts voicemail over an hour now. An hour and 10 minutes of voicemails. Come on, people. Let's go.
Bag Milk, just want to add one last thing.
What was?
Before the Cup Finals begin, I just want to kind of thank everyone who's been following Oilers Nation for as long as they have been. And
he's trying to butter you up now, people. He's going to go, listen, like, thanks for following Oilers Nation and, like, thank you for being part of the community and everything. And he's trying to butter you up. Are you falling for this? This is Waz's curveball. He's been throwing gas, and now he's throwing a curveball. You crush that baby out of the fucking park.
Engaging with us, and especially over the last 2 months, I mean, our following has been growing exponentially on all our platforms. It seems like, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. So I just want to thank everyone for all the engagement, the follows, the loves. It's been awesome to kind of just connect with Oilers fans throughout the streets and high five and meet up with people. We have an incredible community here at Oilers Nation, and none of this would be possible without the people who read our stuff, follow us, chirp us. It's incredible, and just thankful and grateful for everyone who allows us to do this. Just kind of want to thank everyone before we all go into this next few weeks of craziness.
As much as I'm making fun of Waz here to start saying he's buttering up, he's exactly right. I don't talk to anybody unless you're listening. I don't have a job unless you're reading and following along, and it's all community based. the idea of Oilers Nation, if you want to listen to the interview that I did with Wanye, probably a year and change ago now, he kind of walks through the whole idea, but the basic premise is to create a place for Oilers fans to be together no matter what. Thick and thin, ride or die. That's Oilers Nation. And a lot of work, a lot of articles, a lot of posts, a lot of memes, a lot of videos, and a lot of great conversations with every single one of you. And a lot of great voicemails today. And we're going to wrap it up with one final one for the Hectic Cuts voicemail.
Okay, Big Milk. The coverage around this series has been kind of weird. It seems like the narrative among the pundits and the big TV networks is that Florida's already won this series. Will Edmonton make it close? That seems to be kind of the vibe out there.
Agreed. And that's why I love it. Bring the underdog mentality just like you did against Dallas. Because, Nick, there was a bunch of that same nonsense being spouted before the Western Conference Final. Maybe not to this effect. There's a little bit, obviously there's more attention on the Stanley Cup Final, but we've also got idiots like Greg Cote in Miami or wherever. He's probably writing about basketball or football generally, and he's calling Connor McDavid overrated. Like, some of the takes out there are from people who don't even make sense.
And it's, I love the underdog mentality, but like some of these arguments people are making just make no goddamn sense.
Facts.
Like, I was watching this CBS panel, and the one guy they had on it was Al May, who does Hits on Stauffer's show. I don't think Al May had watched a goddamn second of Oilers playoff hockey, because he's making these arguments, and this other guy who never heard of was making these arguments that are factually wrong. There are stats to say what you are saying is wrong. But you know what? They just talk out of their ass, like, so who gives a fuck? But, and I hate this narrative that, how is Edmonton going to handle Florida's toughness? Blah, blah, blah. One, I think Vancouver was pretty tough, and I think the Oilers handled it okay. Number one, Edmonton is fucking fast. Can't be physical if you can't catch the guys and if you're out of position.
Yep.
And how without this, it's a two-way street. How is Florida going to handle our speed? Because to my knowledge, none of the teams they've played are particularly fast. Sorry, Boston. I don't think of you as being fast. How are they going to handle our speed?
There's also the angle of like Alexander Barkov, no argument from me, by the way, one of the best two-way centers in the league. He kind of took the torch from Patrice Bergeron when he retired as the best defensive center, the best two-way center, probably. But if you look at the teams he's played, no offense to Mika Zibanejad, great player. He's not Connor McDavid. He's not Leon Draisaitl. So this is a different animal for the Panthers too. And I think that anyone believing this is going to be an easy series, like you said, Nick, hasn't watched anything throughout this run. Nothing about this series is going to be easy. And I say that for both sides. Because you know what? You paid attention. You don't get to the Stanley Cup Finals by winning a scratch ticket. This is not going to be easy for either team, but I believe that our Edmonton Oilers can win this series if they play their best hockey. They need everybody from the crease outward to execute at a high level and nothing less. But Florida has the same need. They could fuck around and find out. Sure, be super physical. Take penalties. See what happens. This series is going to be intense because it's the Stanley Cup Final, and that's what it should be. So ignore the noise. Embrace the underdog mentality. Embrace that everybody is taking shots at our city. Everybody that's here and everybody who's paid attention all year knows what this team is capable of. And that's how we're going to wrap up the voicemail. Located in the heart of the South Side, Century Park. Bookings available at hectic-cuts.ca. That's cuts with a Z, people. Book in with the best barbers here in Edmonton at Hectic Cuts. A bunch of the boys go get their hair cut there, so why shouldn't you? Look handsome. Look fresh. Zach went out there, got a beard trim, got a haircut. Looks fantastic. There you go. Our 15-minute voicemail episode. Thanks for the feedback. Thanks for the messages. This is turning into a whole different animal than what I ever expected it to be when I launched the voicemail segment. So thank you for participating. Thank you for giving me your takes. Thank you for the excitement. We got a big couple of weeks here, and here's hoping I get a celebration edition of BLTN a couple of weeks from now. Can you see it? I can see it. Can you feel it? I'm starting to get there. We'll see.
Oh, Captain Felton with your charm. In your uniform, you're looking so fine and so true. Through the high seas and beyond. I'd follow the stars just to be where you are. Oh, I would sail the seven seas for love. With you, my captain, under sky.